Hey everyone, it's Ty here on behalf of Microsoft, and in today's video, we're going to take a bit of a deeper look at what's happening in the world of Game Pass, and to be more specific, we'll hear from the rest of the team as they discuss how there is most definitely something for everyone to play. So let's jump in. First up, let's take a look at the different Game Pass subscription options, starting off with Console Game Pass. With Console Game Pass, you'll get access to the ever-growing, ever-changing games library of high-quality games that you can enjoy and play on your Xbox console. And the best thing about that is, every month new games are added, so you're always going to have something new to play, including the latest Xbox Game Studio titles, which you'll have access to on release day. And you'll also get exclusive member discounts and deals included with your subscription. Next up, we have PC Game Pass. Very similar to Console Game Pass, only now you get to enjoy those same benefits on your PC. So you can play hundreds of high quality games on your PC, play Xbox Game Studio titles on day one, get those exclusive member discounts, but you also get access to a library of EA's best titles on PC, thanks to EA Play. This includes exclusive rewards from EA and some of their members-only content. And finally, we have Game Pass Ultimate. This is essentially a combination of console Game Pass and PC Game Pass. So if you're like me and you enjoy gaming on both console and PC, then this is the option for you because you'll be able to play all your favorite titles from that constantly evolving Game Pass library on the device you want. But it gets better. With your Game Pass Ultimate subscription, you can now play games from the cloud. So that means you can now play games from the Game Pass library on your mobile, on your tablet, on your browser, from the Xbox app on your PC, on your console, and you can even play games directly from new Samsung TVs via the Xbox app in the new Samsung Gaming Hub, built directly into the TV. What we do know is that there is a large group of players who don't just game on console or don't just game on PC or mobile. They prefer the fluidity to choose the devices that they want, when they want, and that's why the Game Pass Ultimate subscription is so important because we can now meet these players where they are. So now that we have a better idea of what Game Pass is, let's look at how there is something for everyone to enjoy.
Thanks, Ty. Now, I very much had a standout moment when I truly realised that Game Pass does have a title for everybody. And that moment was when Crusader Kings Free got introduced to the Game Pass library. Now, in my spare time, I have two major passions. One is reading, watching, and just in general learning about history. And the other is getting fully immersed into tabletop games. Crusader Kings Free is made by a company called Paradox Interactive, and they have been making grand strategy games since the early 2000s with the release of Europa Universalis. I got on board their bandwagon in the mid-2000s and have been sinking countless hours into their titles since then. The launch of Crusader Kings Free definitely signaled to me that Microsoft are trying to cater to everybody. Now, grand strategy games might not be everybody's cup of tea, but for someone like me, they really do blend together my two passions of tabletop gaming and history, all from the comfort of my PC. Game Pass hasn't just stopped with a single type of strategy game either. They have introduced so many different flavors and subgenres into the Game Pass library. Whether that's a storied RTS franchise like Age of Empires, more Paradox Interactive games like Europa Universalis 4 and Hearts of Iron 4. They've even introduced blendings of the two subgenres with the Total War series. We can now play Total War Warhammer 3 and even Total War Free Kingdoms. And more of these games are coming along. The next one that I'm looking forward to is Sins of a Solar Empire, which is another fantastic RTS game, but where you control ships in space instead of people. Make sure you keep checking back into the Xbox Game Pass library because I guarantee you really will find something for you.
Game Pass has been an absolute game changer for me. I really believe that it's one of the sole reasons that I now play games almost every single day. See, I didn't have a console when I was growing up as a kid. We had a family PC and a few PC games that my brother and I used to fight over, but we were very much told to go outside or read a book if we were ever complaining about being bored. My husband, on the other hand, has had a console for virtually his entire life. So lucky for me, he's a really patient man who's encouraged me to try out games, find ones that I like, so gaming is something that we can do together. And this is just something that I never would have done without Game Pass either. Rather than spending $70 to $150 on a game, I pay one low monthly cost to have access to over 100 different games. This means I can play a game and absolutely fall in love with it, or I can play a game and rage quit within the first 15 minutes. There's no love lost, and most importantly, there's no money lost either. I'm able to try and try again until I find those games I absolutely love. To broaden my horizons, I've set myself a little challenge to try a new game from Game Pass each and every week. And I've found heaps of new games that I enjoy playing by myself, that I love playing with my husband Graham, or that we've used to keep in touch with friends and family overseas throughout the pandemic. First up, I want to talk about my new favourite single player games, and I've got to start with The Sims 4. The Sims has been such a huge part of my childhood and I've played each and every version, but it has been a hot minute since I've played this game. Thanks to Game Pass Ultimate, which also includes EA Play, I've been able to download The Sims 4 on my PC. And interestingly, it's not actually as hard as I remembered. You know, keeping your Sims happy while gaining skills to progress your career, as well as managing your friendships and relationships, and your house clean. It's kind of just like being an adult, really. But I've really enjoyed this throwback to what was my favourite game as a kid. I've also really loved playing Donut County on console. This is the first ever game on Xbox that I've completed from start to finish, and this felt like a major life milestone. Donut County is being destroyed by everything getting sucked down a hole, and you hear the story of the townspeople, and then it's your job to recreate it. Each level gets more creative, it's heaps of fun, and all of the cutscenes gave me a really good giggle. And then there's all of the multiplayer games. Personally, I love playing games when I can share the experience with someone else and also have their help to carry me through the game. Graham and I have really loved Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles Shredder's Revenge. It's a super nostalgic arcade style game. And if you're someone like my husband who's been playing games for all of eternity, the controls and combos will just be like second nature to you. I kind of felt like I was just button mashing to start with, but I quickly got the hang of it and really enjoyed this game. You can actually play this game with up to 6 players online, but I found it a little bit overwhelming and quickly lost track of which turtle I was. Then there's Power Wash Simulator. This is really new to Game Pass, but was an instant hit in our household. You go around the town of Muckington helping to clean up homes, cars, skate parks, your local playground, a fire station, all kinds of different things. And it's just really satisfying, relaxing, and really zen. You have a progress tracker up to your top right hand side of what percentage of the job you've done, and it's definitely not the kind of game you can exit out of if you've only got 30% left to go. We've also found playing games to be a great way to keep in touch with friends and family overseas during the pandemic. Halo Infinite has probably been the top of our list for this. I know I'm really ashamed to admit that I'm actually a little bit late to the Halo party, but I am so glad that I've finally joined and I'm here. I really enjoyed the multiplayer modes in Halo Infinite. My personal favourite has to be Fiesta. You respawn with different weapons each and every time, so for me this has been a great safe space to respawn as many times as I need to get to learn the maps, the vehicles, as well as the different weapons. And last but certainly not least is Overcooked 2. This is one of the first games that I fell in love with playing on console. It's the kind of game that I'd recommend to the people in your life that don't necessarily consider themselves a gamer and maybe don't feel super confident playing with a controller. You play as an adorable little chef and you have to get as many meals out as you can. You can either work as a team or get a little bit competitive and work against each other to get as many correct orders out as you can within the time given. It gets a little bit hectic, but it's heaps of fun. And just like that, I've become someone who'd never really played any games to someone who can't pick just one favourite. I've really enjoyed going on this journey with Game Pass. It's improved my patience, my coordination, and it's been a great way to keep in touch with our friends and family. There really is something for everyone on Game Pass.
We often talk about how Game Pass has a title for everyone, and, well, I thought I would share with you my standout moment when I realised that this was actually true. My light bulb moment was when the games Unpacking and House Flipper were released. In life, I have a few different passions, one being sport and going to the gym, and the other being, well, cleaning and organisation. Now, with the introduction of the game Unpacking, I was truly able to zen out and unpack life with this interesting and unique puzzle game. The premises of the game is to open a box, remove items, and correctly place them inside the home. Now, I know this seems like a simple task, but it can be quite challenging, especially when there are multiple rooms and lots of items to unpack. The game is divided into stages named by years in which they take place. Each stage consists of unpacking a female character's possessions from boxes into a new place, representing a significant life event. As a player, you are tasked with fitting each unpacked item into the living space, all the while learning the character's full story through her items and places that she's lived. Being pretty new to the whole gaming lifestyle, I was super pleased when I was able to complete my first ever game from start to finish. Another game that feeds into my passion of cleaning and organisation is House Flipper. House Flipper is a simulation game that lets you enjoy cleaning, repairing, and renovating houses. You essentially become a one-person renovation crew. When you first start the game, you are gifted a house that acts as your office, but before even getting inside, you need to dispose of the trash that blocks your door. Once you're inside, you have the option to give your new office a cleanup or to jump straight into jobs that need to be completed. After completing a few jobs and earning money, you can then purchase your first home and renovate and sell it. You can let your creative juices flow by giving these homes a new paint job and purchasing some new furniture, or by simply knocking down complete walls and rebuilding them. As you progress through the game, you unlock more skills and tools so that you can earn more money to buy more houses and renovate and sell those as well.